yo. Ain't no fear, I'm never willing. We just didn't get ya. Got a bad thinking, ain't lie. North side, bumping north with a dick. When I was a baby, I was wildin' for respect. You gon' get your with the set. Around here and talk crazy, you get we ran so many out of here. Wonder why young you gon' get peace. Anybody ever ask what happened with the bleach? Running from they almost yeah. Around the same time, bumping till y'all verse a tip. I ain't know who went harder, made me wanna celebrate. Now we in the game and I'm so busy from the bank. Look the
Larry Ridley, this is Madden 18 on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the 49ers going up against the Seahawks.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Looking to throw. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
After the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon. And that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? He'll look to throw. And finding Davis here, the tight end. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 15-yard line. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran player. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't – he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush is just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run out on. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. His team in the right positions, make sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gives them a new set of down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Here's Wilson. And the ball is knocked out. And this is going to be 49er football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start on the ground with Gore. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Again, they run. Again, it's Gore. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Back to throw here. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks, because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Wilson dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Steps away to his left. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that'll make it third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. They'll set up the screen to Lynch, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. To throw again is Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down to bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much.
Gore hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Yeah, holding on to the football is a big problem for the 49ers last year. Shouldn't surprise any of us.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So we hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Seahawks. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile. first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage, because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down. Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
He was trying to get it to Frank Gore there, and now it's 3rd down. And pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Out routes are always timing route. It can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. What a spin. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
Catch made right side by Wilson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Being chased out left. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They got to make sure on their throws that they see it open.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33, past the 20. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
It's caught on the left side by Curse. And, he'll be shoved to the turf that time, right around the 31. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wilson to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Forced out to his left. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
Will they close it out? We're about to find out. Another carry now for Gore. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now it's Lockett. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. He's back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete, and it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And he got it. The kick is good. He splits the uprights. And in doing so, he sends them to the NFC title game. Overtime in a playoff game. Awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
They start the drive with Lynch. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Charles, you think back to some of the great OT games in postseason history. There have been a lot of them. I think in January 2016, Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Airing one deep for Curse. He's got him in. Complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And that one results in 35 yards. Backed up deep in their own territory. They were in search of a cushion, and the cushion was found.
And you have to think total game, even in overtime. As a head coach, field position still counts in this spot. So they had to get out from the shadow of their own goal line, get themselves some breathing room. Obviously, that helps them on offense, but it may help their defense, too. Might be necessary here in OT. And we have to give credit to them for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me,
and he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on in the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
And they have secured a spot in the...